In today's class, we are going to discuss about the first three topics in Unit 1, composition and structure of Earth's atmosphere, air pollution, air pollutants, scales of air pollution. So coming to the first topic, what is atmosphere? So the air which is surrounding around the Earth is called as atmosphere. And the air is one among the necessary conditions for the existence of life on this planet. So next, we know that the atmosphere is a mixture of different gases. It contains gases like oxygen, which is used for humans and animals, and carbon dioxide for plants. It envelopes the earth all around, and it is held in place by the gravity of the earth. It helps in stopping the UV rays harmful to the life and maintains suitable temperature, which is necessary for the life. Next, composition of the atmosphere. Composition. The atmosphere is made up of different gases, water vapor, and dust particles. And we know that the composition of the atmosphere is not static; it changes according to time and place. Next, permanent gases of the atmosphere. Nitrogen, oxygen are the two most important gases which occupies a large amount of percentage by volume, and its concentration is about 7,80,840, and oxygen concentration is about 2,09,460. The remaining percentage is filled by the remaining gases, that is argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, krypton, and hydrogen. Next, gases of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is a mixture of the different types of gases. When we compare this tabular column, we are able to find out that nitrogen and oxygen forms the maximum percentage by volume in the permanent gases of the atmosphere, and 99% of the atmosphere is made up of these two gases, and other gases like argon, carbon dioxide, neon, helium, hydrogen, etc. form the remaining part of the atmosphere. So describing about each gases, its physical and chemical characteristics. Carbon dioxide is meteorologically a very important gas. Actually, it absorbs the terrestrial radiations and reflects back some part of it towards the Earth's surface. Carbon dioxide is largely responsible for the greenhouse gas effect. When the volume of the other gases remains constant in the atmosphere, carbon dioxide has been rising in the past few decades because of the burning of the fossil fuels. So this rising volume of the carbon dioxide is the main reasons for the global warming. So next, coming to ozone gas. The ozone is another important component of the atmosphere, which is found between 10 to 15 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Actually, it acts as a filter and absorbs the UV rays radiating from the sun and prevents them from reaching the surface of the Earth. The amount of the ozone gas in the atmosphere is very little and is limited to the ozone layer found in the stratosphere. So next, water vapor. The gaseous form of water present in the atmosphere is called water vapor. It is the source of all kinds of precipitations. The amount of water vapor decreases with altitude. It decreases from the equator towards the poles. So its maximum amount in the atmosphere could be up to 4%, which is found in the warm and the wet regions. Water vapor reaches in the atmosphere through two processes, evaporation and transpiration. So dust particles are generally found in the lowest layer of the atmosphere. These particles are found in the form of sand, smoke, soot, oceanic salt, ash, pollen, etc. Higher concentrations of dust particles are found in subtropical and temperate regions due to dry winds in comparison to equatorial and polar regions. So next, now the composition of the atmosphere gets over, and the next topic is structure of the atmosphere. The atmosphere can be divided into five layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So this is the pictorial representation of the five layers of the atmosphere. First one is lower one is troposphere, and the next one is stratosphere. The above one is mesosphere, which is about 80 kilometers, and thermosphere, which is about 400 kilometers. And the above 400 kilometers found the fifth layer of the atmosphere, that is called as exosphere. So troposphere, actually it is the lowermost layer of the atmosphere. The height of this layer is about 18 kilometers on the equator and 8 kilometers on the poles. The thickness of the troposphere is greatest at the equator. Troposphere contains dust particles and water vapor. This is the most important layer of the atmosphere because all kinds of weather changes takes place in this layer. So continued to the topic troposphere. The zone separating troposphere from the stratosphere is known as tropopause. The air temperature at the tropopause is about 80 degrees Celsius over the equator and 45 degrees Celsius over the poles. The temperature here is nearly constant and hence it is called as tropopause. Next layer is stratosphere is found just above the troposphere and it extends up to the height of 50 kilometers. The temperature remains almost the same in the lower part of this layer up to height of 20 kilometers. So after this, the temperature increases slowly with the increase in height. The temperature increases due to the presence of ozone gas in the upper part of the layer. The upper limit of the stratosphere is known as stratopause. So one important features of the stratosphere is it contains a ozone layer, ozone gas. The high concentration of ozone in relation to the other parts of the atmosphere is found in this layer stratosphere. So the above layer next to stratosphere is mesosphere, the third layer of the atmosphere, which is spreading over the stratosphere. It extends up to the height of 80 kilometers. In this layer, the temperature starts decreasing with increasing height and reaches up to 100 degrees Celsius at the height of 80 kilometers. So falling stars occurs in this layer. The upper limit of the mesosphere is known as mesopause. And next layer above the mesosphere is thermosphere. This layer is located between 80 and 400 kilometers above the mesopause. It contains actually electrically charged particles known as ions. It is known as ionosphere. The radio waves transmitted from the earth are reflected back to the earth by this layer, and due to this, radio broadcasting has been possible. So the temperature here starts increasing with the heights. The next one is exosphere, which is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere, and gases are very sparse in the sphere due to the lack of gravitational force. Therefore, the density of air is very less here. So this is the pictorial representation of the Earth sphere. Here four major spheres: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. Lithosphere means solid earth particles are found here. Hydrosphere, which is covers all water found on under and over the surface of the earth. Biosphere means life on the earth, species. So atmosphere, the gases that surround the earth is called as atmosphere. So interaction of lithosphere, atmosphere, biosphere and hydrosphere are described in this picture. So next, biosphere here. So in this picture, it represents the physical elements of the earth. The four major elements of the earth are biosphere, atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Biosphere means living matter on the earth, which includes all plant and animal life forms. Atmosphere means it is a thin fragile layer of gases that surrounds the earth. Lithosphere means the earth crust including landforms, rocks and soils. Hydrosphere means the water on the surface of the earth in terms of oceans, rivers, lakes, rain and mist. So next, um, the structure of the atmosphere gets over, and the next topic is air pollution. So what is air pollution? So generally any visible or invisible particles of gases found in the air that is not a part of the original normal composition, that is called as air pollution. The categories of the air pollution: two major types of air pollutant: primary air pollutant, secondary air pollutant. So first one, primary air pollutant means harmful substance which is emitted directly into the atmosphere, that is called as primary air pollutant. Secondary air pollutant means harmful substance formed in the atmosphere when primary air pollutants reacts with substances normally found in the atmosphere or with other air pollutant. So source of air pollution next. So there are two types of sources of the air pollutions: natural source and anthropogenic source. Natural source means which occurs because of the natural uh, because of the natural source. Uh, Example: volcanic eruption, forest fires, dust storms, oceans, plants, and trees. So, anthropogenic sources means it is created by human beings. So, these are further classified into two types, that is stationary source and mobile source. Stationary source means a point source that includes industrial processing, power plants, fuel composition, etc. Area source means residential heating, coal, gas, oil, on-site incinerations, open burning, etc. Next, mobile source. Mobile source means line source, that is highway vehicles, railroad locomotives, channel vessels. All this comes under mobile sources. So next, categories of air pollutions: primary air pollutants and secondary air pollutants. Examples of the primary air pollutants are gases such as carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitric oxide, nitrogen dioxides, most hydrocarbons and most particulates. That is, it covers all the human sources. Okay, so the natural sources, volcanic eruptions, so everything comes under primary air pollutants. So secondary air pollutants means, example, nitric acid. Okay, so nitric acid, sulfuric acid, nitrogen dioxide, hydrogen peroxide. So all this comes under secondary air pollutants. So how to measure the air pollutions? AQI, which represents, A stands for air, Q for quality, and I for index. So by using this air quality index terms, we are going to measure the air pollution, so which indicates whether the pollutant level in the air may cause health concern. So actually it ranges from 0 to 500, and the value is from 0 to 500. 0 represents least concern and 500 means greatest concern. So these are the five major pollutants: carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, particulate matter, and ground level ozone. Carbon monoxide means it is produced by burning of organic material, which is such as examples of coal, gas, wood, trash, etc. And automobiles are the biggest source, and 80% is released from the automobile. Carbon monoxide gas is released from the automobile. The remaining is from cigarette smoke, and that is also another major source. Actually, coming to the human effects, this toxic because it binds the hemoglobin, it affects the oxygen content in the blood, and it is not a persistent pollutant. It combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Most communities now it meets EPA standards, but however, the traffic hour can produce high carbon monoxide levels because of the rush in the traffic. And this is Delhi is one of the example. It shows an act on pollutions, and in the place Javadekar. The next gas is sulfur dioxide gas. Actually, it is mostly emitted from the automobile vehicle industries. So next gas is nitrogen oxide gas. It is produced from the burning of the fossil fuels, and it also contributes to environmental climatic changes such as acid rain and photochemical smog effect. Automobile engine has the main source of the gas nitrogen oxides, and new engine technology has helped reduce, but many more cars still release the nitrogen oxide gas. This one is the hydrocarbon gas. Actually, it is organic compound with hydrogen, carbon, both are combined together. It forms two elements, that is benzene and butadiene. From incomplete burning or evaporated from the fuel supplies, the major source is the automobile, which emits the hydrocarbon gas, and it also comes from some of the industries and which contributes to the photochemical smog effect. Next one is particulate matter. So what is particulate means? Small piece of solid materials and liquid droplets, that is about 2.5 millimeter and to 10 millimeters. Example is ash from the fire, asbestos from the brakes, and insulin and dust particles. It is easily noticed. Example, smokestacks. So particulate matter can accumulate in lungs, and it interferes with the ability of the lungs to exchange the gases. Some particulates are known as carcinogens. Those working in dusty conditions at highest risk. Example, minus. The next point is respirable suspended particulate matter, RSPM. That is, its size ranges less than 1 micrometer. It affects the alveolar lungs. So particulate matter are classified into two types: PM 2.5 and PM 10. So PM 2.5 means having size less than or equal to 2.5 micrometers. Actually, it affects the trachea lung particles, and PM 10 having size less than or equal to 10 micrometer. It affects the nasal part only. So this one is primary particulate matter. This diagram represents the primary particulate matter PM, which is emitted directly from the source into the atmosphere. So example is forest fire. Where do the primary particulate matter releases? From the forest fire or burning waste, from the car truck, and this one is from the road. This one is from the constructions and factories. Okay. So this is actually the scale of the air pollution. The air pollution problem may occur on three scales, that is micro scale, meso scale, and macro scale. And micro scale problems ranges from those covering less than a centimeter to those the size of house or slightly larger, so few meters to 100 meters. So mesoscale air pollution problems are those of few hectares, that is its size or ranges varies from the city or from the country. So macro scale problems extend from the countries up to the state level, national level, and even in the broadest sense, global, region to continental scale. Scale of the air pollutions. The types of air pollutions are classified into three types: personal air exposure, occupational air exposure, community air exposure. Personal air exposure, it refers to exposure to dust, fumes, gases to which an individual exposes himself when he inhales himself in smoking. So next, occupational air exposure, it represents the type of exposure of individuals to potentially harmful concentrations of aerosols, vapor, and gases in their working environment. So next one is community air exposure. This is the most serious complex, consists of varieties of assortment of pollutions, sources, meteorological factors, and wide variety of adverse social, economical, and health effects. Thank you, students.